Okay. So first of all, what is Google Summer of Code? I mean, that is why we're here. So Google Summer of Code is an online program, is a global program that is majorly focused on helping people that are new to open source to get to work on projects in related fields. So you get to work on a project with any organization that you get accepted in for 12 weeks. The minimum number of weeks I can work on the project is 12 weeks. Sometimes the project can get extended to around 14, 16 weeks. The maximum is 16 weeks, based on if there were like maybe some complications or maybe the project was changed along the line. Hope you can hear me. Okay. So yes, and you work under the guidance of mentors. Like you can have either one mentor, two mentors, or three, depending on like what the organization put up for the project. So so let's go to the next stuff. So yes, about GSoC. So like I said, is a global program focused on bringing new contributors like into open source. So like it's not about new people into tech. It's just new people that have not been involved in open source. Maybe you're just getting involved with open source, but then you might have been working in your field before, but then you have not worked on open source projects. So it's mainly focused on people that are new into open source. So the program is open to students and beginners in open source. Approximately 2 years, and you have to be 18 years or older than 18 years. So you can there are three types of projects you can work on in GSoC, either a small project, a medium project, or a large project. On my screen, you can see the number of hours each project consists of. And like I said, the standard coding period is 22 weeks, and I can see it has been extendable to a max of 22 weeks. The standard coding period is 12, extendable to a max of 22 weeks. In my period, it was 16 weeks, but I guess they have allowed more allowance. So for small size project, the coding period is 8 weeks. And the stipend that they pay, it also differs based on the project. So there's a stipend for small size projects, there's a stipend for medium size projects, and the same for large size project, and it's higher per project. So you work with an open source organization under the guidance of mentor while you collect the stipend for successfully completing your project. So yeah, so the next thing, how does it work? So the first thing that they do is Google is going to announce organizations that have been accepted for Google Summer of Code for the year. And then you get a period of time where you are supposed to connect with the mentors and the organization, trying to understand the projects. Like during that period of time, you're supposed to go through the projects that they are going to publish on their page. So let me just see if I can show you my page. So when Google Summer of Code announces, when they announce their accepted organizations are going to publish a set of projects. Like right now, it's saying applications are not yet open because they are still accepting organization application. Organizations have to apply to participate in Google Summer of Code. They're going to announce them on February 19th, and then people that are interested in participating can now get to actually go to this organization's page and check out the projects and the projects that they have put out there. They used to put it on different sites, so like it can be on their GitHub, it can be on their websites, like it can be anywhere. So what you're supposed to do as a interested participant during that period before application opens, application is going to open officially on March 16th. So between February 19th and March 16th, you're supposed to reach out to the mentors of the projects. Some of these projects have like things that they require you to do before you even submit a proposal. Some of these organizations, some of them will require to take a course, some of them require to like do a kind of mini beginner project, some of them don't require you to do anything literally, some of them will require like, but one thing you need to do is ensure you communicate with the mentors of the project or communicate with the organization before proposal starts. Even if you don't do it before proposal starts, once proposal starts, you have to communicate, because most times people that get accepted are people that were in communication. Like you cannot just go and submit a proposal out of the blues when they did not hear from you at all, all through the period when they were announced and all through the proposal stage. So during this period, after you have gone through all the organizations that were announced, and you have made a short list of the organizations you think you want to contribute to, and you have checked their project and you have made a short list, then you now reach out, you introduce yourself, you say whatever you're interested in. Maybe you ask questions based on the projects are interested in. And if they have something that they require their contributors to do, maybe they want you to clone their repo, maybe they want you to do a beginner project, maybe they want you to submit a pull request. There are organizations that actually require you to submit a pull request to their repo before you before you submit a proposal, because in the proposal they would ask for that particular pull request. They will ask you to link the pull request. So like I said, it differs for organizations, which is why once they announce the organizations, you have to check out the organizations that you think you're interested in working with and see the things that they require to submit the proposal, or what they require for you to to submit a proposal for a project, or what that particular project requires. And then again, even in organizations, the requirements would even differ per project. There are some organizations that would require you to do this thing no matter the project that you are interested in applying to, while some would just leave it based on the project and the mentor to decide what they want interested applicants to do. So like I said, so from February 19th to March 16th, that is where they are supposed to be in communication with the mentors on the particular communication platform that they have specified, because you cannot just message them randomly. You have to use the method that they specify. If they want you to message them on Slack, on Discord, via email, or on their GitHub repo, any way they specify, that is how you message them. So then you have to work on your proposal between March 16th and March 31st, and then you submit your proposal before March 31st. So according to the timeline, they are going to announce accepted contributors by April 30th, and you start work by May 25. So that is just after you get accepted. So yes, eligibility, like I said, you have to be over 18, you have to be a beginner to open source or a student. You have to be eligible to work in the country which you reside in, which you're going to be or residing in, and then you must not have participated in GSoC. You must not have participated in GSoC for more than 2 times. So the maximum that you can participate in GSoC is twice. So someone like me, I'm not eligible to apply for GSoC again because I've participated in it twice. But then if you have participated once, you can actually apply again to participate in it. But then once you have participated 2 times, you are not eligible to participate in it again. So things you need to consider before you apply to GSoC. Number one, what are your interests? Like, you need to define your interests. And I know it's possible for you to have different interests. It's possible for you to have a whole lot of interests. It's possible. But then you can decide that, okay, what interest do I think I want to work on open source projects in? What interest do I think this would be on open source projects with? So you just decide. You need to decide your interest, because like I said, there are a lot of organizations. If you can see, last year I think they had over 195 organizations. I'm not particularly sure of the number, but in the news I'm sure they announced it, how many organizations they had for they used to have a lot. So yeah, 2025 they had 185, 2024 they had 195. So like, that is a whole lot of organizations, and then see the amount of projects that were contributed. So there are a lot of organizations ranging from security to science, machine learning, AI, operating systems, medicine, web development, data analysis, like anything you can think about. A lot of fields are actually there. So it's not even it's not that it's only people into machine learning. I did mine in ML, but that is because I am into ML, I'm into machine learning. So like, but my GSoC 2023 was like a data science project. That is the funny thing, because then I was not really deeply into ML. I was just actually getting started with ML. So I was just like a beginner then. So like, there are so many fields, even like sciences, mathematics, even physics. Actually, like many organizations have different things that they think they want to work on, and I've seen chemistry too. So like you just get to work on based on your own pure interests. Then number two, you have to consider your technologies, because if I open any project for you right now, you would see the require like you would see the technologies that were required. Most of these projects, like most of these projects, they will write, okay, we want somebody that has knowledge of Python, we want someone that has knowledge of Go, we want someone that has knowledge of C++. Like they used to write the language that they want. Let me see if it's still there. They used to write the language that they want in whatever projects that they are working on. Like you'll be able to see, oh, okay, this is the language that you're supposed to be they are supposed to have if you want it. And also, if you go to an organization site, you can see their technologies that they work with, and you can see the topics, like what is related to them. This organization now is relating to geoinformation, open standard, data analytics, that kind of thing. So you need to know the technologies that you have. What technologies are you familiar with? So now, the truth of the matter is that I won't say you need to be an expert. Like you don't need to be an expert, honestly. Like you don't need to know it all. If you have good foundational basic knowledge of that technology, especially in this age of AI and everything, like you should be able to apply to that project as long as you have good foundational knowledge. But then again, you have to also be what is the word? You have to judge it. Like some projects, like the large projects, they tend to be hard and complex. If it shows there, most times they'll specify it, like you need to have very good knowledge of this. Some of these organizations they will have nice to have skills, they will have compulsory skills, and they'll have like maybe required skills. So nice to have, you might not need to have it, just a nice to have. Does not mean your proposal will not be accepted if you don't have it. But then skills that are required and compulsory is actually necessary that you have those skills, and you can prove in your CV or in your proposal that yes, okay, I have this skill and I've worked with it before. And then your available time commitments, you also have to think about it. For someone that is not a student now, you might have the time to do a project that requires still 50 hours of your time. Though, like I said, it's 12 weeks. And when I was writing my proposal, when I divided the time, you like for a large project, because I actually also worked on a large project, you just need to work about 30 hours per week on it. And honestly, based on you and your mentor's work and your tasks, it might differ. You may not work up to that in a week, you may work up to that the next week. So it just depends on how you manage your time, to be honest. But like I said, you have to decide what time commitments do you have? What is the best time commitment for you? So now, in 2023, when I got accepted for GSoC, that time, I think I was doing my IT. I think I was on IT. So yes, I had time. I worked on a medium project. I had enough time, and then I was even doing my IT on campus with a lecturer, and the lecturer knew I was doing Google Summer of Code, because I even actually presented it as part of my IT at the end of IT. When you do your presentation in my department, you had to do presentation. So the lecturer knew I was doing GSoC, I was doing Google Summer of Code, he was aware. So I had the time to work on a medium project, and I was on my IT. I could have actually even worked on a large project, but that was the project I applied for, and I got it. Then in 2024, I was in school, but then I was in final year then, and final year you really don't have as much classes as you do during the other times too. And then I was able to manage my time well, and then even my work period fell in exams. Well, that's why I said everything is about you and your mentor and communication. So I had to take like a 2 weeks break during the exam period. That was lecture free week, and I think the first week of exams. And I told my mentor that, oh, I have exams, so I need to read and prepare for my paper. And I took a 2 weeks leave where I did not have to work on the projects. But then after like GSoC was supposed to end September 4 or something, I had to commit back the week that I missed out. So that is the thing. You can have an understanding with your mentor if you're a student, because like I said, it's for students. So they understand that you are going to have tests, you would have assignments, you would have exams, and you just have to communicate with them. If you have anything that is clashing, maybe you have any project to do and you need to take a big break, just get ready to know that you have to make up for it. You have to ensure that all your work, all your tasks is done at the end, because in GSoC they pay based on evaluation. You're going to do 2 different evaluations: the first evaluation, midterm evaluation, and final evaluation, and they only pay after you have passed the evaluation. And if your work is not completely done, then it might be hard for your mentor to actually mark it as passed for you. So let's go ahead. So how do you choose an organization? Like I said, there are a lot of organizations and it can be very, very overwhelming. Like the first thing, like I said, is that you need to know which field do you want to work in. Do you want to work in AI? Do you want to work in ML? Do you want to work on programming languages? Like with some organizations like Rust, Python participate in GSoC too, and will probably just work in programming languages. What exactly do you want to do? So when you have decided what you want to do, okay, say you want to do two things. Okay, you have to narrow down those organizations that are doing those things. Then when you now decide, oh, the skills I have, because let's say you have narrowed it down to 20 organizations, let's just assume you probably not have the skills for all the 20 organizations. So now narrow it down again based on the skills you have. So now let's say you have now narrowed it down, you have 10 skills. Then like 10 organizations, you have the skills for 10 organizations out of all the organizations that GSoC have announced. So you now have to now go and check the projects. Which one do you really want to do? Which one aligns with you? Which one do you think you would like to work on for the summer? So you have to check them. Like you have to take your time. It takes a lot of time because when organizations put out a lot of projects, some of them can put out just 4 projects. Some of them can put out 6 projects. Some of them can put out 15, 20 projects. In fact, some of them will tell you you have the chance to suggest your own project. So something that you think they are missing out in their organization that you really want to work on, you have the chance to suggest it. So some projects even have grandchildren. So like it will be a project, then like 2 different projects under it. So like there are a lot of projects. So you have to take your time, go through the project of the organizations that you think you would like to participate in, and then look at look at the projects, ensure you have the skill, you have at least a foundational knowledge of what they're trying to do. You understand, even if you don't understand it fully, you just have an idea of what they're trying to do. Once you're able to get this, try to narrow it down. I would suggest to narrow it down to 3 at most, 3, 4, because you have the right to actually submit 3 proposals. You can submit 3 proposals, but to be honest, I don't advise it. Like I would advise to submit no more than 2, because the time it takes to come up with a proposal, it can take a lot of time. To come up with a really, really decent proposal, it can take a lot of time. I started working on my proposal once application started, and yet I still submitted my proposal maybe a day to or the day of the deadline, and it was only 1 proposal. So like it takes a lot of time if you actually want to come up with a detailed proposal. But so in case, so you cannot feel like you're putting all your eggs in one basket, though I would just suggest submit 1 proposal. But so you does not feel like you're putting all your egg in one basket, submit 2 proposals, but try not to submit 3, because then you probably water down your efforts of submitting the 3. So just try to stick to submitting 2 proposals. So you should also read more about the organizations from their URL on their page. Go through their project list, like I said, find a couple ideas that interest you. Then, like I said, very, very important, reaching out to the mentors through their communication channels to ask questions, not just random questions, not just hello, I'm interested in this project, how do I proceed? Please don't do that. They will probably not respond to that. Like go through, some of them have like many of these projects would already have detailed information on what the project is about, the goal of the project, what they want to achieve, so many things. So what you need to do is actually ask very sensible questions, or maybe if you have done those things, you can say, oh, hi, I'm this, I've done this, I want to know the next step to do, or what do I need to put in my proposal? Like you have to think about very sensible questions that you can ask these mentors, so you can actually get a response, and you will not just be asking generic questions. And then another thing you have to consider about the organization is that consider if they are responsive. To be honest, some organizations, no matter the sensible question that you ask, they might not be responsive. That's another thing you can use to filter out organizations. Some of them they don't have enough mentors, so maybe it's only one mentor that is attending to 5 different projects or that kind of thing, and it might be quite tricky. You might not get the response, and then you will now start feeling like discouraged or that kind of stuff. So, but then there are some that are very, very responsive. The mentors are responsive, they are attending to their contributors' questions on time. You can try to look at those organizations and attend to them. Another thing I do is you can check past programs. There are some organizations that they have participated consistently. That means they always accept contributors to their programs. Those kind of organizations, you stand a chance of like them accepting you to for this year. But there's some organizations that they are probably just new. They are just participating this year. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad idea to submit the proposal to that kind of organization, but then For an organization that has not been participating consistently, it might be quite tricky, because the truth of the matter is that even if you submit a proposal, like you might submit a proposal for a project and they might not end up doing the project at all, because maybe they think they did not see any proposal, or maybe they have very limited slots. Because the way GSoC works is, when you submit your proposals, this organization, the mentors and the organizers, they go through the proposals for each project. And then they now tell GSoC that, okay, these are the projects we think we want to do. Because remember, it's GSoC that are going to be paying the contributors. They tell GSoC, these are the projects we want to do. And GSoC give them a particular slots. So they might submit 10 projects, and GSoC will say, oh, we don't think these 10 projects are worth sponsoring. We just want to sponsor 4. You get that kind of thing. So like, at the end of the day, it's based on what the organization select, and based on what GSoC find, how many slots GSoC wants to give them. So that is it. Like, it's probably not all the projects that proposal gets submitted for that they are going to sponsor. But that's why I said an organization that has been participating consistently, some of them used to get a lot of slots. Like the organization I participated in 2023-2024, they used to take over 15, 16 contributors, which is a lot. Some organizations just take 1. So excuse me, some organizations just take 2. So like, you have to consider those kind of things. Check their page, see how many contributors they have been taken so far. And if you stand a very, very high chance, you feel like, oh, you got very good feedback from your mentors, then even if they take only 1, then you should just hope for the best. Another thing that's very important, that ensure you get the feedback on your proposal from the mentors of the project, because if you're already in communication with them, when you start writing a proposal, you will definitely let them know. So when you have written it, you can get feedback from them. And please, let them only be your mentors. Like, send it to random people, like send it to your friends, let them see if they can understand what you are trying to say in that proposal. Send it to your friends. You can send it to even other mentors of other projects if they don't mind, if they are open to like looking at proposals. You can send it to past GSoC applicants. So that is always my best way to go. You can send it to past GSoC applicants that participated in that particular organization that you are looking at. So those are the kind of people you send it to. Your friends, whether in your field or not in your field, past GSoC applicants from that organization, and even program organizers. I sent my my proposal to program organizers. Though the lady told me it's not her field, but she just gave me feedback that she thinks my proposal is good enough to go. Many of the time they will look at it and read it. So just send it to anybody that you think you can get a good feedback from. So project proposal info. So like I already said everything here. Start working on a proposal as soon as you can, once you have been able to narrow down the projects that you want to work on, because honestly, March 16 to March 31 might seem like a lot of time, but it's just 2 weeks. And if you're a student, then it can even actually be more tricky. So it can be really, really tricky. So many of the mentors are volunteers. So be very patient and respectful when you're reaching out to them. Like, understand, you can send follow up email or maybe follow up text, but understand how to like try to be gentle with them when you are communicating with them, because they are not being paid for what they are doing. So you have to understand, and you have to be patient. So ask the organization for feedback of your proposal. I've said that is very, very necessary. Like, ensure you're in communication with the mentors of the project that you want to participate in. Once you start writing your proposal, even before you have gone far, don't say you're waiting till when you are done. Even when it is in the draft stage, please ask them for feedback if they'll be willing to give them feedback. Some of them will ask you to add them to your Google Docs. Like me, I was asked to add them to my Google Docs. So just go ahead, add them to your Google Docs. Anytime you think you have made any important milestone in the proposal, you have written nice things, let them know. They will probably leave comment on it. And many times, like my 2 proposals, they literally told me what they want to see. My mentor will tell me, oh, can you create a flow chart? Because my proposal didn't have a flow chart, but he wanted to see a flow chart. So can you create a flow chart? Show me your steps. Can you do this? Like, and those kind of things are really nice for you, because when they are reviewing your proposal, they are seeing the things that they wanted to see, and they can actually choose the proposal to get accepted for the project. So, and many times if they're already in communication with you and they're having a back and forth with you, then you actually stand a higher chance of getting accepted for that project, except if maybe the project did not get accepted by GSoC for sponsorship, like to be sponsored. But then if they're already having a back and forth with you and they have video proposal and everything is done accordingly, then you stand a high chance of being accepted. So yeah, I don't know how far I've gone. Olamide, how long do I still have, please?
Okay, you still have 15 minutes.
Oh,
Stop by 8:55. Yeah,
I'm
thank you.
almost done. Okay. So, frequently asked questions. I think I've covered this. There are three project sizes: 90 hours, 175 hours, 350 hours. And then GSoC is open to all newcomers as long as they are 18 plus. You have to be 18 plus. You can't contribute if you are less than 18. So if you are less than 18, try again next year. So yeah. The next thing. Okay, this is just the program timeline. I think I've gone through all this, so you can check it on the slide later. It's just the program timeline on how the whole program goes and everything. And so yeah, what are the next steps for you as someone that is interested? There are a lot of rules and FAQs, and they have a lot of videos on the GSoC site. Try to go through it. You should read the contributor guide. There are a lot of information and tips. February 19th, once they announce the organization, start looking at those organizations and reach out ASAP, like reach out as soon as you can, like immediately, like try to give yourself a timeline. February 19th to March 16th. Application open March 16th. Try to finalize on your organizations and then start reaching out. In fact, you don't actually even have to finalize on the organizations before you start reaching out. Maybe when you reach out, anyone you think, oh, I'm interested in, I like this, the way they respond and the way they tell you about the project can make you decide if yes, I should contribute to this project, or if no, I should contribute to that project. So I'm just going to show you. Yeah, that is the end of my slide. The last things are the helpful links that I've added my 2 accepted proposals. I've added a GitHub link that contains past accepted proposals and different things that will help you for applying. But then I know I talked a lot about reaching out to organizations before applying. So I want to show you the first stuff I sent um my my the project when I was trying to apply. Okay. So yes, let me see if I can see the project. Okay, need to check pull requests. Okay. Yeah. So okay. So I'm going to show you guys the two programs I participated in. When I am done with this, I think I'll be able to take questions in case you have any questions. So like I said, this was the project I participated in 2024. You can see they wrote a background. This was my mentor. He wrote the background of the project, the goal, different things, and then he had the how to start section, difficulty method, the skill. They only needed Python. So like you only needed to have a Python skill and the size and length of the project. So then a lot of people sent message or several, like introducing themselves. But then this was my own section. This was what I I sent. So, hello, my name is Phil James. I hope this message finds you well. I recently came across your project. I'm particularly interested and I would like to contribute. First, on my question, I have two questions. I hope you could help clarify. May I begin working on Jupyter issue before the application begins? Just like you can see, I asked very specific questions, and then I got a response. And then I informed him when I tried something out, but I was not getting what I tried. And then I got another response. I told him another thing, and I had to inform him. I was just keeping track with him, like let him know I was doing something. And then I got another response, and then I started my proposal and I sent it to him. And yeah, I was accepted for the project. So in my proposal, he gave me a lot of feedback, a lot of review. But then again, you see, I already had a kind of communication flow with him on the GitHub repo. And when I started my proposal, it was easy to just add him to it, and he was willing to see what I had done based on what I was showing him on my GitHub repo, and was ready to give me feedback that okay, do this, do that, do all that. And then I got accepted for the project and I worked with him. So when we even started the work, we just even started from where we stopped through the proposal, like because we had already done some very nice things already. So we're not even starting from scratch. We just started from like the proposal and the things that we had already done. So same thing for the other projects. The other projects too, it had a background, a goal, difficulty level. It was a large project, like I said, essential skills, Python. Nice to have all these. I think the only skill I probably had there was the number one, LLM, APIs, LangChain. I didn't even really know a lot of LangChain. I just started learning LangChain when I wanted to participate in this project. Because of this project, I took a deep learning LangChain course, like a short course on deep learning AI. So like, so not like as if I had any of these skills. I'm not into molecular interactions. I'm not a biologist. I'm an engineer. So the major skill I had was Python, but I still went ahead to contribute to it because it was a project that I felt like it was very, very interesting. So you would see the way I reached out to, I'm looking for where I reached out. So I had about 5 questions, 5 different questions. Like I referenced the project I worked on in 2023, and then I asked different questions that I thought was necessary for me to ask him. And I got a response from him, and then I asked another question. I think I got another response from him or not. And then I just submitted my proposal. Like I didn't submit it without getting feedback from him. Already started creating my proposal. Like I said, when I did the course the LangChain course and the extraction course, I was able to create the proposal from that. Then I shared it with him and I just kept on getting feedback, modifying my proposal till I was ready to submit it. And once I submitted it, it also got accepted, which is why it's a closed issue. So this is just a sample of how you can reach out to the mentors of the project. And like I said, they have different communication channel. For this organization, the communication channel was through the GitHub. Some of them will tell you to message them on Slack or on Discord or the GitHub issue, or maybe email. Like they have different sites, different ways, means of communicating with mentors in your project. You just have to look at how the organization wants you to communicate. And this organization did not have any special thing that they needed contributors to do. You just needed to do what was in the project, like what the project wanted. So yeah, I think I've covered a lot of things already. I don't know, I don't think I'm missing anything. But just to summarize, very important things: start early, reach out to the mentors of the project before you start writing your proposal, so you can actually understand what the project is about. Ask very sensible questions, and then ask for feedback for your proposal. Don't be shy. Ask them for feedback. If there are two mentors, ask the two mentors. If there are three, ask the three of them for feedback. Ask your friends, ask the program organizers. Program organizers are different from mentors. Ask the program organizers and please ask past GSoC applicants. Many of them are always willing to help review proposals. So you just have to, that's why you have to start on time. So it's not be as if you ask for proposal the day that is the deadline. At least if you ask 2 days before, they will be able to give you a feedback. And if you need to incorporate it, then you'll be able to incorporate it. Something funny, in 2023, 2023, I asked someone that participated in 2022 for my proposal review, only for me to find out when I got accepted that I was a co-mentor. So like that was very, very, very amusing to me, because when I was in communication with me, he never mentioned that to me that it's going to be a co-mentor for that project. I just messaged him because I came across him on the NRMB past participant for 2022. I messaged him on was it LinkedIn or via email. I asked if he would be willing to review my proposal. He said, yeah, sure, he will be willing to review it for me. And I also noticed that the mentor of the 2023 project that I wanted to participate in was his mentor. So I messaged him, was like, yeah, sure, we're willing to review it. He reviewed it, he gave me a feedback. He said I did not mention one or two things. I can't really remember. I mentioned it, I gave it back to him. I was like, oh, this is good to go. And I submitted it. And then when I got accepted and the mentors got introduced to you, I realized that it was a co-mentor of that project, meaning like I already like applied to him, like shot my shot to him without even submitting to GSoC yet. And he had already seen my proposal and knew that, oh, this lady is in constant communication with the main mentor and that kind of thing. So you really don't even know the person you are going to give your proposal to review, if the person is going to be participating as a mentor or a co-mentor. You probably know if the person is participating as a mentor, but you might not know if the person is going to be a co-mentor till after the proposal get accepted, and they'll probably not tell you. So yeah, those are the major things I have to say. And yeah, enjoy your opportunity. Another thing I want to say is that it's not just even about the GSoC program. Even what happens after is also very necessary. Try to see if you can keep in contact with your mentors, and maybe you can decide to continue working on the project. Like me now, after I finished my GSoC 2024, I continued working on the project, and they even offered to pay me. And from there, I was able to like write my first research paper. I was able to travel out to present that same project I started working on from GSoC 2024. You really don't know how it will go. So you just have to like, maintain a good relationship with them and communicate with them, and then be willing to work. Let them see that you are willing to work. Like let them see that you are actually willing to work and you want to work on this. You love this thing that you're working on, then you can be ready to ask for anything. All what I had to do was just ask him that I've currently finished my exams. I don't have any work I'm doing. I don't mind continuing on the project, even if like it's just to continue. And he said, yeah, he has some money he wants to pay and he was willing to pay. And then I continued for a long time. So those are the advice I have for you, and I wish you all luck in your applications. So yeah, Olamide, over to you.
Thank you so much, Favour. That was very, very informative. So please, if we have any question, we can do well to raise up our hands. And I see that nobody dropped any question in the chat. So do we have any question, any clarification that we want our wonderful speaker to give us, please? Anybody? Okay, can we get your presentation slide? It's going to be passed across. The slides will be passed across. Okay, Jamil, you have the floor, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Mrs. Favour, for the opportunity. I want to ask, for someone who is a beginner, say someone who is, you mentioned that there are different tracks like web design, MLM, and also others. So let's say you're a beginner in this your choosing area of visualization. So can someone also apply and also get in? And also, um, is there any form of credential evaluation? Say maybe I must still be a graduate or an undergraduate, but because in my own case, I'm a graduate, I'm currently doing my MSc. So I just want to know, is there any credential evaluation for the GSoC? So thank you very much.
Yeah, like I said, you don't have to be an undergraduate. It's not only for students. So if you're a graduate, it's fine. As long as you're a beginner in open source, you should definitely try to apply. So now for beginner in skills, that's why I said it depends on the project. To be honest, some projects don't need you to be an expert in that particular skill. Like they don't need you to be an expert in that particular skill because you are going to have guidance of mentor. Remember, you are not doing this alone. Like you will have your mentors. That it's not like your mentors will help you to code, but then they'll be there to guide you on like how to proceed. But then you just have to bring your what you have to, you have to be ready to think and do things for yourself to be like to know to suggest steps. So like say you're a beginner in a skill, I don't know, I'll suggest like you don't like I think I would suggest if you can try to strengthen your skill level a little bit more. Like maybe you can take a course or something that will make you more strengthened in the skill level for you to be able to apply to that project. But then again, the project does not seem like maybe it's a small project or a medium-sized project that just needs you to have the foundational knowledge of this code of the skill. Then even along when you're writing your proposal, you can also learn. Like I told you, when I was applying for 2024, I did not have any knowledge of LangChain. Like I didn't have any knowledge of LangChain. I did not really have knowledge of LLMs. Like I've not really worked with LLMs, like LLM APIs when I wanted to apply to 2024 project. So I was like a beginner. I was a beginner in it, but I took a short course. I took a short course in it, and then I took that short course. Then I looked for a course that was related to the project, and then I was able to come up with a proposal. And it was along the line that I now actually improved in my skills. So that's why I said if you see a project that you like, that you think you have the foundational skill knowledge for it, then you can just learn as you're writing your proposal. You can take maybe a course that you think will help you. And there's nobody that is going to go and be for your credentials. Like once you submit your CV, they are not going to go and start verifying your CV or saying, okay, does he have this skill? But then your CV has to be detailed and show that yes, maybe you have a project related to the skill, or maybe you have worked in an organization that you use that skill. Let your CV not just mention the skill, but then it's not showing anything. So, but then it's not as if they are going to then start verifying your credentials. You get, but you just have to ensure that your CV is detailed and related to the skills that you say you have. And has that answered your question?
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so do we have any other question? Okay, somebody is saying, please, I'm still confused. What's GSoC about? So GSoC is Google Summer of Code, and I think our speaker did justice to that. So the slides, I mean,
I think Olamide got disconnected. Well, pending till she comes back. Adinka Olabi, please, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Miss Favour. Thank you for doing this. Yeah, really appreciate you. So, want to ask that is there a template that you follow to write the proposals? Is there like a laid down template that you follow? So that's my question.
Okay. Okay, very, very valid question. Thank you. I forgot to talk about that. So many organizations have templates that they would put in their site that you are supposed to follow. But like many organizations have templates, even GSoC itself has a guideline on how to write proposal. They have one just generic template that you can follow. But then what is the word? If an organization has a template that they want you to follow, please follow their templates. If they don't have a template that they want you to follow, you can just check any past proposal and use any one that you like. In fact, you can even check different organizations, and if you see a template that you like in an organization, you can use it for yourself as long as your organization does not have a template that they want you to follow. So now, in my own case, NRMB did not have a template. They didn't have a specified template that they wanted to follow. But then another organization that a friend was applying to had a template. So I ended up using that organization's templates. They don't care as long as they did not have a template that they wanted you to follow. They just had some specific questions. Like they just had some specific questions in their proposal guide that you needed to answer. That's the thing. Some people will have it, some organizations will have a template that you have to follow. Some will just have questions that they want to see answer to in your proposal. So any template you use, even if you come up with your own template, is fine. But then you just have to do it based on it. So if an organization has a template, use their templates. If they don't have their templates, you can use any body's templates that you like, either my templates, any past proposal templates that you come up that you feel like you like, or if you just want to use Google Docs and create your own templates, then please feel free to do. But just ensure that any information that the organization asks for, like the process that they ask for, the way they want to see your proposal, that is how you do it in your own proposal. Because even if you don't have a template, they have things that they want to see, and ensure that those things that they want to see is in your proposal.
Okay. So do we have any other questions? Anybody? Okay,
I want to
so
ask
I think
that
okay, please go ahead.
I want to ask that in case you are stuck in the process of application, can we still reach out to Miss Favour? Just like asking for a favor, ma. If you are stuck, can we still reach out to you, ma?
Hi, honestly, like your mentors will probably be a better option to reach out to, but then I'm willing to review anybody's proposal. Like once you have a draft proposal, even if you're not done and you want to get feedback from me, please feel free to send me your proposal and the project link, and I'll be able to check it for you. Or maybe if you have any question that like maybe you're not getting clear, you can ask me. But then concerning the projects, like discussing with the mentor of the project will probably be a better option for you, since like I'm not the mentor of the project. But then if it's about your proposal, to review your proposal or to give you feedback on your proposal, then you can definitely ask me about that, and I'm okay to review your proposals for you.
So can we have your details, maybe LinkedIn, Gmail, or whichever?
Yeah, I'm sure the host will probably share my email with you at the end of the program or whatever. Then you can reach out to me anyway. And I'm also on the GDG group, so they will probably tag me there, and yes, you can reach out to me. Yes.
Okay, thank you everyone. So any other question?
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. So in the absence of any other question, we just like to say very big to speak with us, and we also want to thank you our attendees for joining, and we really hope you guys took note and make use of best use of the knowledge that we have gained this evening. Again, if you're going to learn our group, like to learn the groups, that can email her, and let's do all that is expected to wish all of us success in our application, and we hope to see us at the top. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Favour.